making that climb. Some days I'd rather be a no-show, lay low before I go out of my mind. But when she says, baby,
Alright, hey guys, Nate here, and I'm going to talk to you guys today about finesse fishing. About mid to late summer, you know, when it gets really hot out, the water gets really hot down here in Texas. Like really, really hot, enough to make the bass not want to bite. For either that or the bite's just really tough. Windy, cold conditions, cold front. I'm just going to talk to you guys about some finesse tips. Probably all around best finesse tip I can give you guys is a wacky worm. It's small. It presents depending on the worm you use, it can present a small or big profile, easy meal for the bass to get. This is probably one of my favorite wacky worms, is the Berkeley Powerbait Heavyweight 5-inch fat sink worm. Got a bunch of these. Got 4 or 5 packs of the Watermelon Red and a couple packs of the Black and Blue stuck in there. Yeah, so pretty much what I fish these on, depending on the condition. If I need it to get a little deeper, I'll fish it on a flick shake head with a weed guard. I believe that's a Zappu. And basically, you guys know what a wacky rig is. For those of you who don't know, you just hook it through the middle of the worm, and you throw it out there, let it fall to the bottom. That's also another key thing about fishing these wacky rigs, is I see a bunch of anglers, they don't let their worm fall all the way to the bottom, and they just start fishing it before it like hits the bottom. And with finesse fishing, that's key, because most of the fish are going to be either on the bottom or looking for food on the bottom slowly, and these fish are going to be moving slow. So yeah, that's probably my #1 producer when the bite gets tough, or I'll rig it on if I'm in some grass, heavy cover, stuff that I can't really get a jig head through. I'll just fish it on a little drop shot hook, little Gamakatsu, I forget the size that it's in, and just rig it up like normal. Wacky rig, just like that. Throw it up near the grass, throw it in the grass lines, fish it slow. Just fish on a spinning rod. I'll show you guys my rod setup that I use when I'm fishing these baits. Here is a 7-foot medium heavy action Abu Garcia Vengeance rod with a Shimano Sienna. And I was fishing a couple days ago, and I had a wacky rigged Senko with a jig head on it with an O-ring. And that's also another big thing when you're wacky rigging Senkos, is you want to use an O-ring so you can save your bait as much as possible. I usually never fish in a wacky rig without an O-ring, just because, you know, you're throwing out a $1 Senko. I mean, every time you lose one of those, it's like $1, and you're probably catching 15-20 fish when you're fishing that wacky rig. So yeah, guys, another finesse tactic is fishing a shaky head like this. Usually when I'm finesse fishing, I'll use the smaller shaky head, not the normal Picasso one I use. I forget what brand this is, but I'm going to have to find out because I'm running low on them. Here, I'll rig up a shaky head worm for you guys. And this is the 6-inch KVD Perfect Plastics finesse worm. Usually when I throw this, I'm throwing it on that same spinning rod over there as the wacky rig, and I'm fishing it really, really slow in rocks. Usually I'll fish this June bug color on that spinning rod real slow in the fall and the winter time up near rocks when it's on a sunny day, because on a sunny day when those bass are really, really cold and the water's really cold, if the sun is showing, it's gonna put off heat off those rocks. So those bass are going to get up in the rocks and get as close and get as warm as they possibly can, because they are a cold-blooded fish. They don't like the cold, or warm-blooded, whichever one. I just know they don't like the cold water, except for like smallmouth and stuff like that. But I don't have any experience with smallmouth because I live in the deep south, down in Texas. So yeah, that's one way I'll rig it. I'll use either the KVD finesse worm, the Zoom trick worm, or the little robo worm. That's a great worm to throw. A little 4.5 inch, I believe, maybe 6 inch robo worm in the Aaron's Magic color. I like to fish June bug, watermelon seed, watermelon red, and green pumpkin in my trick worms. I don't like to go all the black and blue and all the other different colors and the other soft plastics that I use. And another way to approach finesse fishing is with tiny flukes. I thought I had some over here, but and a drop shot. You know, just a simple old drop shot. That is a Lake Fork Tackle. I believe it's a 4 inch or 3.5 inch watermelon seed hyperworm, and yeah, it's a watermelon seed color. Love that bait in a drop shot. Another way that I like to rig this bait is on a little jig head like this, little 1/4 ounce jig head, and I'll just rig it up even with the paddle tail. I won't rig it up with the I'll rig it up with the paddle tail, even with the hook, because I'm not trying to swim this bait. See if I got this right. Yeah, so that's a great bait when the bite is tough. You know, just throw this on a sandy bottom, rock flats. You know, when the bite's real tough, it's real hot out, go pull up to a dock, skip this up under the dock, see if you can get a couple bites. It's a great bait for dock fishing. Love these hyperworms. That's actually a big producer on docks in the summertime for me, is a little jig head with a little worm or grub, or just a little pocket craw or baby hyper freak. Pretty much anything you can put on a jig head and skip up in the back of the dock is good in the summertime. So yeah, guys, probably my favorite finesse tactics are going to be shaky heads, drop shots, jig heads, wacky worms, Senkos, trick worms, and tiny little flukes like the 3-inch flukes, Fluke Juniors by Zoom. My favorite color in those are probably going to be the white ice color. I would show you guys some, but I don't know where they went. So yeah, guys, fish fluorocarbon when you're finesse fishing, so the fish can't see it. It's real imperative that you fish fluorocarbon. Fish light, 10-pound test, and fish slow. So yeah, guys, if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below, and I'll try to answer them or make a video about it. So yeah, guys, see you later.